Hello, everybody. Hello. It is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. And I just realized that I was like, do I have everything? I was like, I forgot to announce on Discord that we're live. And so I'm going to do that right now as we speak. Hold on. Uh, Announcements. Everyone, we are live with Disco Elysium. Let's explore a creepy basement. Hmm? That's me here. Doot, 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 doot. Done. Hi. Hi, everybody. How are you all? Oh, gosh. Ooh, you know when you stretch and you didn't realize you needed to, but then you did? Hi. How are you all? It is good to see you. I'm wearing my Infec t-shirt in honor of the corporate sins. With this roller, I love your emotes. Hi, everybody. So, how are you? I thought I look, we're gonna play Disco Elysium and we're gonna just jump right into it, just jump in without any um chatting beforehand because we started so late, and I'm so sorry we started late. But as I was getting myself together and getting things in, I was like, okay, cool, 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 cool. And then it turns out there were a whole bunch of kind of important software updates, including to my audio system, that I really did have to do. And so then I did it, and it was fine. But you know how it is. Uh, and I realized that I do need to charge my lights while we're here. Hi. Uh, how late were you streaming? We'll probably do like 2.5 hours. So we'll probably be streaming until 9:30 Eastern, which then means we have that little bit of pivot time before Critical Role starts, Age of Umbra, and then we can hang out over there while we're going. So I'd say 2.5. That's what I'm thinking. Um, how are you all? What's new? I also need to have the OBS visible right now. Okay, this I like. Hi. So, getting my groove back. So I have news before I start. I would like you to know that due to some sort of questionable pressures, I am now completely unpacked, except for the 3 bags of cables that I do need to organize, but I also got my cable organizer in. So, but there are no boxes anywhere in this little tiny place that I'm in, and everything is unpacked, which I'm very proud of myself, and everything put into my little storage unit. I do want to go through my cables. And in this moment, I just realized right before we went, thank you, Rissa. Uh, Atomika. Right before I went live, I was thinking, I feel like there's something that was just not right with my setup, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I've been, hey, Ty the Bard of Tyr, how are you? And I've been thinking, like, what is this thing that's just been not right? And I realized what it is. So I'm using these headphones, right? And these headphones have an 1/8 inch jack, and I do not have a an appropriate 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter, which means these headphones are not currently plugged into my audio interface, which is what I am normally plugged into, so I can hear. It allows me to control volume and hear things in particular ways, but because I don't have the adapter, it's plugged into the computer directly, and so I'm like, why is my audio louder than I want it to be? Why is it being so weird? And I realize now exactly what it is. And I've remembered that I wanted to go and buy some 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapters, and that I forgot that I wanted to do that. So I wrote it down right now. So I will not forget this next time. Oh, hey, Schmelze. Hi, everybody. So this is us. I have so much to talk to you about, but we're going to play. You've been great. What have you been up to? What all have you been up to? So, we're gonna just start the game so that we can chat. I mean, that's what we're gonna do. So we are playing the Disco Elysium. We are basically in end game, right? Um, At least I think so. Maybe. I don't know how long it'll take for us to finish endgame. Like, that's a bit of a question I have. But, you know, we're gonna try it out. I know, Krellin thinks it's very weird that I have lots to talk about. It's true. Doing Gen Con prep and GM screen design. Oh, nice. Oh, hey, Hawkeye. Are you doing, like, a new design for your screens? Because I know that you're very, creative and innovative, right? Like, you don't just do the same old, same old, same old. You really try, like, I've noticed that each time you do a new design, a new screen, you always, like, add something to it, and it always gets a little bit better and cooler, and, like, you're really, how do I put this? You're not just a reproducer, right? You know, you really sort of come up with really cool ideas. So what's the cool idea that you're working on? I'm just curious. Oh, a lot of volunteering at your local theater? Oh, that's lovely. You took care of a truck this hour. Oh. I sent in my final essay for the semester. I'm free till September. Nice. But yeah, speaking of Gen Con, CR has announced that their August live show in Indianapolis is going to be GM by Robbie, Daggerheart, and Exandria. Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Is this actually loading? Oh, I think so. If it's not, we'll find out. I mean, I'm getting audio. You know what? Let me see. Let me grab my cursor. Whoop. Here we go. Let's just see what's going on here. I was right. Hold on. Application not responding. I've got to quit out and restart it. You know, see, this is what happens when you try to go and start your game playing too soon. The world says no. Quit out of that and come back in. Oh, Rissa saw Noises Off last night. Oh, Noises Off is quality, great quality. Hey, Valtiel, how are you? So, you know how I read, I peruse Reddit at times, or Blue Sky, and I don't peruse Twitter, which I try to check it every once in a while, because sometimes people still give me DMs, but I don't really go to Twitter at all. And, you know, people say things, and I see things, that conversations that carry off between back and forth, and it gives me thoughts. And I sometimes don't feel like it's worth it to respond on Reddit or Twitter, because, Blue Sky, because, you know, those don't seem like the people I necessarily want to have a conversation with, if you know what I'm saying. So sometimes I just want to have these conversations with you all, is the long and the short of it. Let's see if we can get in this time. So it was very, yeah, no, Noises Off is like is an engineering feat. Like, the you know, the production I saw of Noises Off did such cool things with the set. It was very, very cool. Hawkeye says, I do have a potential customer that wants to be able to put the table screen in either way, depending on what they want to use it as. Wants to talk to you about making a design for classroom use as well as RPG gaming use. Oh, Hawkeye, that is very, very cool. I still really Twitter to like to hear what Black Radicals have to say, and there's not a lot of them on Blue Sky. Well, you know what, Krellin? That is true. That is true. And yes. I see you. Oh, you know, you deactivated Twitter years ago. Well, you know, here's a thought about this. I was going to, you know, there's for sanity reasons, I was very impressed with the backstage act one. So cool, right? So here's a thought that I was going to share with you about Twitter for a moment. And one of those things is that I was going to delete all my tweets. I was thinking about deleting... Ooh, what is this?
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary?
Ooh! New information?
This does look like an embrasure, a slit made for shooting out of.
Let me peek out.
Outside the window, the day is clear, and as mild as can be in early spring.
Hey, this must be like the boardwalk part, right?
It's a great place to hide. And Masovenism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive. But there hasn't been anyone here in ages.
Kim, I can't see the whirling in rags. The shot didn't come from here.
Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. Alec, in fact, I think we're done with this bunker. After you, officer.
Oh, all right. Oh. Also, we got new information, but I want to tell you this thing. Because I'm thinking about... Oh, wow. I have a -4 authority. That's pretty impressive. Wow. I clearly am not hanging out in a space for authority. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, oh, it's my shirt. That's cool. That is part of it. How come I have a -4 authority because of my items? I feel like, okay, that gives me -2, right? And that's empathy. Like, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of things. I'm not seeing a -4, but that's okay. We should probably change our shirt. You know what I mean? While we're here. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, just having fun. We're going to see Superman tomorrow. I really want to see it as well. Said local theaters also doing a production of the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged, seeing that Sunday. Oh, I have seen a couple of those kind of like speed runs of Shakespeare that have been really fun. So you should tell me what it's like and what they do. Because, you know, I would be interested. Rhetoric, empathy. We need a better shirt right now. This is conceptualization, physical instrument. Well, I feel like we're going into maybe like slightly scary people, so let's do this for a physical instrument. It might be helpful. I mean, oh, I don't even know. Okay, but I know what it is. We gotta something happened. Oh, determine where so we have to check the island. I don't know where this island is or what island we are talking about. So enter the cabin below the fell bidding. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I remember what was going on here. I remember what was happening, actually. Everybody, we can't go in there yet. Sorry, I just realized that I was like, well, let's just go in there and get the end point. And then I realized why we haven't done that yet. And the reason we haven't done it yet is because we want to talk to the communists. So we're going to have to leave.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man.
Yeah, we're going to have to leave. We cannot, there's like a person in here for us to investigate, but we cannot do that because we have to go and talk to the communists. So, yes. Yeah, look at me. Here I was thinking that we were ready to go, but we're not. Am I winning? I think so. Very excited. Oh my gosh. Ty, the Bard of Tyr. You have never seen any Shakespeare live? Have you seen, Ty, the Bard of Tyr? 2 points. One, I think I told you this, but I want to say it again, just for the record. What time is it? It's like 4 something in the evening? Okay. I think what we wanted to do was, we have to wait till it's nighttime, and then we can talk to the communists. So I believe what we're going to do is head back out. You know, we're just doing our walking. Head back out, and then have Kim take care of the body, I think is what we'll do. And then,
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Let's say something ridiculous. The scruffy-haired little kid laughs as though in agreement.
You're stupid.
The other one tells him, suddenly very serious. Okay. How about the policeman asks you something else now?
Okay.
Kids, have you seen any bad people around?
What bad people?
One of the twins looked up, his mouth slightly open.
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is going to crack the case.
Fine. Well, you guys look
The
identical.
stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
We'll go. I've never been in a Shakespeare play or that. Oh, I've been in a couple actually. I love doing Shakespeare. I also did when I was a kid a competition, like a monologue and sonnet
Our
competition.
tenant, the policeman. I hope
We're good. We're good. I think we're just gonna head back out so that we can, you know.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on?
I'm not gonna hit on her. Like, come on now. So, Ty, what I'm gonna say. Also, I have recommendations for you. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you seen any films of Shakespeare films? Because I do have a recommendation. If you haven't, I think I have a good recommendation actually. I would recommend, if you can
The
find
trap
it.
is full of locusts. Poor things.
I need to go and check all of those. I don't think I've checked all of the traps. That's okay. We'll do it when we come back. Also, have we hung out here recently? Because if we haven't, we should. Okay, so what I was going to say about Shakespeare is that I have a recommendation. Oh, okay. So, Ty, I have recommendations for you. And I'm going to give you like a, a weird recommendation. First, I have a caveat. I did Hamlet Spear not to be monologue for acting class. That's as close as I've gotten. Oh, that's a good one. So the thing about Shakespeare is, and this is what I'm going to tell you. This actually has to do with AI. We have tickets of comedy of errors. Ooh, nice. So the thing about Shakespeare is that it uses, of course, different language. And I know a lot of people, they will... All right, let me rewind. So, I don't know if any of you have ever watched The Wire. It's getting kind of dark, right? Okay, so if I recall correctly, what we're going to do right now is take care of the body. I'm going to have Kim take care of the body, then I'm going to talk to the communists, and then after that, we will go into that place,
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Okay.
It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Did we want to talk to that guy? We don't.
All right.
He takes out a shiny black body bag and starts pulling the plastic over the dead man's face.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Bag the corpse and drag it to the motor carriage. We're doing it. I saw Midsummer Night's Dream at the University of North Carolina, Greensboro in the late 80s, early 90s. Amazing. Ooh. Oh, he's gone. I don't have Kim with me, which is really bad because Kim usually keeps me out of trouble. Amazing. When the elves turned invisible, they would put on sunglasses. I'm invisible. Puckware legwormers. That sounds awesome. Carl says, I don't think I've ever seen Shakespeare live except for reading parts of Romeo and Juliet in high school English class, but I've seen a lot of film versions. Max says, up in tiny little Williams County, they did As You Like It. I worked for the paper and had to review it. I expected it to be terrible. It was pleasantly surprised as it was great. Hawkeye says, need to check this Shakespeare in the park schedule. Got rained out for one show and the others clashed with the work schedule. I finally got the dead guy in the freezer. Okay, so here's the thing about Shakespeare. This is the one thing I'll say, Ty, and etc. I know a lot of people get really... I was going to say about The Wire. So in The Wire, the TV show The Wire on HBO, which is about like Baltimore, in season 3, I think it was, they got a bunch of local actors from Baltimore who were all speaking in a Baltimore dialect. And some people were like, I watched the first episode of season 3 and I didn't understand what they were saying, so I just stopped watching. And when I watched the first episode of season 3, I also did not really understand what they were saying, as I am also not fluent in Baltimore dialect. But I was like, well, let me just sit here. Let me just sit here with it. And I just sat there with it, and then I got to understand what they were saying. Like, but you have to let your ears get acclimatized, right? It was the same thing when I was watching EastEnders, the British soap set in the East End of London where they're all speaking sort of Cockney. And I had to, at first I was like, whoa, what are they saying? And I had to let my ears get acclimatized to it. You know what I mean? You kind of sit there in the discomfort for a moment until you become acclimatized, and then you become acclimatized, and it's actually, it's easier to understand it. I went to a Renfest in North Carolina, also in the late 80s, early 90s, and there was a rapier with Shakespeare quotes all over it. Couldn't afford it, regret that so much. Oh, that sounds amazing. And so I think a lot of people like bounce off of Shakespeare because they don't let themselves get acclimatized to it, when if they could let themselves get acclimatized to it, I think they actually would not find it as hard to understand. And then the second part is, there are two things I will say. One is, these are plays, right? Which means they're easier to understand if you watch them. Because they are meant to be, they're just like a script. It doesn't have all of the stuff in it that like the feelings, the emotions, the tempo, the pacing. So if you watch it live, then it's much easier to understand, or film version, right? It's much easier to understand it if you are actually watching it, right? As opposed to, just reading it. But that's the same with a lot of plays. Like a lot of plays, if you just read them, you're not necessarily going to get not going to necessarily get the whole thing, because the play is not just the script, it's also the performance of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's much easier to watch than read. Yeah. Never had trouble understanding Shakespeare. I had the advantage of only having a King James Bible growing up. Oh, that does help, right? It does. And so I would say, Ty, watching Shakespeare is great. It really gives you another dimension to it. Now, that said, I'm going to give you a couple things to think about, and I will give you a couple recommendations. So, this is going to be a history lesson, because not only am I a music college professor, but I've also been doing theater since I was 11, and so I also study theater and performance. And so one thing I should tell you is that Shakespeare, up until the 19th century, of course, was a play for the masses, right? Like rich people would also come and see plays, but it was raucous. And people who could not read knew their Shakespeare. Like in the United States, there's a really great book, Highbrow, Lowbrow by Lawrence Levine, about the making of middle class culture. If you were in the 18th century, people who were miners, who worked in mining camps, who did not read, could quote you large chunks of Shakespeare. It was part of like the general populace. It was part of the general populace, right? They knew their Shakespeare. And the acting style at that time, before the 19th century, was broad. It was funny. It was big. It was like big styles, broad gestures, big things, and audiences. Because remember, this is your entertainment, right? And people would often see the same play over and over and over again, or the same opera over and over and over again. And so they would like cheer and they would shout, very vocal, much like a sporting event in some ways, right? In some places, if they did not like you, they'd throw tomatoes at you. And sometimes if they really, really liked what you were doing, like say Max is playing Hamlet and does the to be or not to be monologue, and people thought it was really amazing, they would cheer and they would shout and they would demand that Max Rider do it again, right? And so sometimes people would do the same monologue 3 times in a row because the audience really thought it was so good and they wanted to see it again. Kind of like, jazz or something. And that's how it was. That's how Shakespeare was sort of meant. It was broad, it was bawdy, it was interactive. And then we get the Industrial Revolution and the rise of middle classes. And middle classes, because they were basic... So there have always been people you might think of as being a middle class, I guess. But if you don't have a critical mass of them, they don't get to make their own culture, right? You have to have enough to create a culture. You have to have enough people to create a culture, a subculture. And the middle classes did not have enough. There weren't enough of them to create their own culture historically until the 19th century. And in the 19th century, with the rise of these middle classes and like the kind of the sort of the end of feudalism, you have this class that doesn't have their own cultural history, and they want one because you have to have one. And so they did a number of things which involved identify themselves against aristocracy, which sort of led to the Great Masculine Renunciation, where men don't wear exciting clothes anymore. It led to a bunch of things. But one of the things it really led to was taking these art forms that had been part of mass culture, like Shakespeare, opera, symphonies, etc., and then telling the working class people that they don't actually understand them and they're doing them wrong. So there was a shift in how people went to the theater. Part of this has to do with Wagner. Before Wagner, there weren't house lights that you would never turn the house lights down. Like if you go to theater now, you turn the house lights down, you have the stage so that you're kind of like transported into this other world. Wagner was also the first person to hide the musicians. Like, so he would hide the orchestra so you wouldn't see them. So it would be like music's out of nowhere. It was this whole kind of like thing, right? So sort of, and he sort of created by-writers about making like the theater and opera more like a church experience, I guess, than an entertainment experience. This is where we're going to get the difference between art and entertainment, but like it's an artificial difference. Anyhow, so before then the house lights would stay up and people would see each other and chat and all that stuff. Anyway, so the middle classes, with the rise of the middle classes, they were like, no, you're all doing it wrong. And so they changed the way that people went to the theater and what that looked like. And also part of that was a change in acting style. So, John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln. The Booth brothers were actors, and there was like a whole rivalry between these two different styles of acting that was coming up. The older style that was broader and bigger, and then this new style that was very contained, right? So part of the rise of the middle classes in the 19th century were going to lead to Victorianism, right? This idea that a good middle class person is contained and restrained, right? And so you get this move towards acting that is about not emoting so much. Dogs, that you don't emote so much, right? You're not big, and certainly audiences don't cheer, they don't clap, they don't call out. So there's this idea that you have to discipline the audience to be quiet and like sit there and appreciate it. And then the acting styles become much more declamatory. And that's all about the cult of the genius, right? Like, well, we don't need to, let me come here for a moment. We don't need to have a lot of emotions and feelings because that's cheap, right? That's for the masses. Instead, we need to just remember that Shakespeare is a genius. That is not how people talked about him during his time period, but it became the way of talking about him in the 19th century. Shakespeare is this genius, and you don't want the actors to get into the way. You just want the actors to just speak the words plainly and clearly because he is a genius. And this is also happening in music composition, where you start getting the idea of like, Beethoven is the genius, and the musician shouldn't do anything special. They should just play it as it is. So this kind of like there's a kind of like a weird thing that happens to emotions, right? So, and then they also did actually rewrite some of the endings of Shakespeare's plays in the 19th century because they kind of thought that the tragedies were a bit of a downer. So they wrote it so that Romeo and Juliet didn't die. They ran off, they were happy. Anyhow, so all this is happening right in the 19th century. Begin to the 20th century, and it sort of remains that way for a while. Don't emote so much for what? No, yeah. They absolutely gatekept Shakespeare. They gatekept Shakespeare hardcore, and they told people that you don't know what you're doing, and this Shakespeare's not for you, right? They took Shakespeare and opera and also the symphonies away from the working class and made it a middle class only thing by telling the working classes they didn't get it. It was then there was Babbage, who cared more about special effects. Oh man, before the 19th century, there were so many special effects, like French grand opera. Would have like entire sea battles. Like they just did stuff. It was amazing. So there's this idea that like, you don't want to be too cheap and broad, et cetera, et cetera. And so as we go into the 20th century, these things are still there, right? These sort of like ideas about how to do Shakespeare are still there. Now, the older style of acting, right? This older style of acting that's a little bit bigger, still exists in some extent, although it's almost gone. Oh, I know, Max. When a song told with cannons, you use cannons, right? Yes. But this older style of acting that is a bit broader and bigger still exists, although not as much anymore. But you can find it in soap operas, daytime soap operas, that kind of like slightly bigger than life way of doing it. Like everything's a little bit heightened. Thank you, Carl. I was just going to say that, right? And in telenovelas, and let me keep that tradition live, and we're basically killing most of our daytime soaps, but we still have some, right? That feels silly. Emoting is like chord acting, but what kind of emoting, right? This becomes, and what's funny is that these debates are still happening in various ways. And it's because what kind of emoting, right? And so soap opera acting is still, right, still has some of this earlier sort of style to it, but we tend to be like, oh, that's so terrible. Oh, that's so bad, right? Various melodramas, but also you can get some of that kind of stylized, slightly heightened acting style in like noir, soap operas, but of course we don't do a lot of noir anymore. There's a bunch of these things that are happening, right, at the same time, while you were getting this push to sort of like move away from it. And then what ends up happening is this kind of like, there's this like pushback, right? You get with the rise of the method acting, and please note, we did not translate all of the method. He wrote like 2 volumes and he continued thinking, but we only had the very first volume that was translated from Russian into English. And Lee Strasberg at the New School then basically interpreted the method in ways that are not what was actually written originally. But the method sort of comes into popularity in the 50s and 60s. And the method, the method had like an internal and external, but we only got the internal. Basically, what we have as a method is not actually what was intended, and it became its own other thing. And it sort of really emerged in the U.S. in the 50s and 60s, and really started being used in film really strongly. But so method is the idea that, there are 2 styles of acting in theater that people will talk about, and that is classical acting and then method acting. And classical acting, one could say, is outside in, and method acting is inside out. We're going to get back to Shakespeare for a moment, right? And also my recommendations. So in classical acting, what you do is you do text analysis. You look at the part, you figure out who this person is, you do all your analysis on the character, and you figure out who they are, and then you figure out how to act that, right? You're like, well, if they are like this, I should do these things. And in very classical acting, you don't have to feel anything. You just have to act in a way that will make it work for the audience, right? So if you, and there's like a range of how what that would look like, but if the character is angry, then you need to act angry. The character is drunk, you act drunk. If the character is sad, you act sad. You don't personally have to be sad, but you need to be able to sort of figure out who that character is and then sort of become the character, I guess, right? You know what I mean? And put it out there. Method acting says it goes inside out, right? So the method acting is, in order to portray anger, then you need to be angry, right? So, and I was taught a little weird mix of both, but if you're doing method acting, and there's a lot of things that you exercise that you do that sort of like are part of the method, right? And a lot of people learn them even on smaller levels. Like one of them that's very method is sense memory, right? And so sense memory is that if you're playing a character who's angry, you sort of sit there and you concentrate and you do some like
Somebody's
thinking.
watching me.
Oh, I always feel that somebody's watching me and I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Ba-da-ba-bow. Oh, thank you, Snug Fox, for the follow. We're playing Disco Elysium, but we're having a slight detour first. Method's been what I've been taught, tying it to real memories, right? Yes. So that you sit there and you bring up your own real memories, right, of when you were very angry in real life, and then you make yourself angry, and then you put that onto the stage. Oh, don't worry about the interruption. Of course not. Just love you chatting about acting as a theater kid that loves Disco Elysium. Welcome to the foxhole. This will be a good place for you, right? And so the idea that in method is that you want to basically evoke these feelings in your real body and real self, and then you will let them sort of emerge, right? How does that work? Yeah, the emotion should be real. Method can get weird though. Jared Leto takes the method way too far, for instance. Oh yes. So method can quickly spiral if you don't do it carefully. Yes, but also there are some things in there, right? Perhaps some acting straight for a charity could happen in the future. Oh, probably actually. But one of the things I think it's really sort of, there are a couple of things that I think, and remember, the method is not actually what was meant, right? Um, we didn't actually get all of Stanislavski, so we often are misinterpreting the method. But one of the things that I think that I would say as a caveat. Now, I'll say that method tended to work a little bit better on film because it's so close. But one of the things that is a misunderstanding about the method, I would say, in my opinion, as a person who's been trained in both, and that is just because you feel it doesn't mean the audience will buy it, right? Because what anger looks like or sadness looks like, all those things, those are sort of cultural constructs, right? What it means to look angry is kind of dependent on the society you live in. And so, for example, some people, when they are really, really angry, just start laughing, right? But if you start laughing on stage, people are not going to read that as anger. It doesn't matter if you're actually feeling angry and that's actually how you respond to anger is by laughing or by, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter because the audience is not going to understand that as anger because that's not how we understand anger looking like, right? And this is kind of one of those things that often gets people in trouble. Like, people are like, oh, you're not traumatized because you're not crying. You're like, well, but not everybody responds to trauma by crying, right? Or sadness by crying. Some people do other things. And so part of the acting is putting off a display of these emotions that the audience will understand as being authentic, even if they're not, right? Maybe if you did a villain lap, people might read it as more anger adjacent. Right. Yeah. Snug says, that's why it's also easier to translate on screen. Yep, because you can add music and cinematography that helps translate it. Absolutely. And also it's closer up in your face, right? Also in the medium, convincing the back row you're angry isn't as easy as convincing a moviegoer you're angry in your close-up. Absolutely, right? So method has often been a little bit more useful in film because you've got all these close-ups, you can read it. And you can do kind of smaller things, whereas on stage, you have to, different levels of bigness. But so what ends up happening is the Americans kind of go pretty heavy for method starting especially in the 1960s. And we start getting these kind of American style productions of Shakespeare where they're kind of going for a more naturalistic sort of presentation of Shakespeare. At the same time, a bunch of these new young, so if we think about like young Hollywood in the late 60s, right? New Hollywood, something similar is happening in theater in England. Not the same way because they're not really doing method, but they are also going for a more naturalistic tone, but not necessarily through method, but through a different sort of mode. So you've got these two competing ways of thinking about Shakespeare that are happening from young sort of radicals, right? People doing cool stuff in the 60s. And it results to like different kinds of Shakespeare productions. So there are these kind of very classical versions of Shakespeare productions, and a very classical version of a Shakespeare would be like Olivier's Hamlet, because Olivier is a classical actor in that way. I'll tell you about a video that I thought was very unfair to Americans, and I thought was kind of gross, but that's fine. And then you've got kind of like new British Shakespeare of like the 60s, 70s. And I would recommend for that, which was a really good example of people who are not doing method, but are doing this kind of new way of thinking about doing Shakespeare. I would highly recommend Midsummer Night's Dream from 1969, I think it was. It's a film version, but it's by the real Shakespeare Company, and it's like the filmed version. They actually make it like a film, not just like a film version of a stage production, but all the people in it were in the stage production, and it's directed by the stage director, and it's by the stage company. So this is Midsummer Night's Dream from 1969 by the Royal Shakespeare Company, and it is starring Diana Rigg, Helen Mirren, Judi Dench, Ian Richardson, Ian Holm, just these like luminaries of sort of like new young Shakespeare that was happening in like the 60s. So that I recommend. Like that one is brilliant. Very, very good. I love that. And you might want to see Olivier's Hamlet. I think he was too old to play the part, but that's me. As like an idea of like a classical Shakespeare. And then for like an American, more sort of like a more American take on it, I would recommend, although I don't think you could really call this American because he's actually Australian, but like, kind of like a different take. I would recommend, of course, Romeo plus Juliet by Baz Luhrmann. those are like three. That's like three different takes on Shakespeare, all of which I would recommend. If you wanted to see like an earlier American Shakespeare, I would look at Taming of the Shrew with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to like all of them, but if you want to get a really good um, um, span of different ways, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Lerman's R plus J is really, really good. Oh, Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh is like a slightly updated classical, is what I would say about him. He's also very good. Whatever you do, don't watch Mel Gibson's Hamlet. Oh, Mel Gibson's Hamlet is not very good. I didn't think it was very good. Yeah, yep, why do people make bigger choice in theater with less subtlety? Well, also because you're far away. You know what I mean? Like people have to be able to see you from far away, and they can't read your face if it's really small. You know? I also think if you want something kind of experimental, I would recommend Titus by Julie Taymor. That's doing some stuff. And like for a good Branagh, Branagh's done a lot, but I think I'd probably go with Henry V. That was like if you want like another, like Henry V was like a kind of an important British Shakespeare production, the Kenneth Branagh Henry V, because it sort of marked the return to Shakespeare in film in certain ways. So that's a good one too. With Anthony Hopkins. Yes. Boone has an outdoor play. Yeah. It was a huge event. It was like a really massive thing because it was trying to go for realistic. It was kind of merging the classical and the method that it wanted that realism, but at the same time it kind of wanted to get the grandness right of the Shakespeare. Definitely good soundtrack. So I will tell you the last thing before we get back to disco. And this is the last thing. I was taking a Shakespeare class in college, and our teacher was much more of a old school teacher, in that she made us all buy the Edith Skinner books. We could all learn in the 21st century, mind you. Okay, it was the end of the 90s, beginning of the aughts. But she made us learn how to do the transatlantic accent, right? Because Edith Skinner has a book on diction and how to speak properly in the theater. And it was from the 30s, and it was the transatlantic accent. So I was taught to do Shakespeare using the transatlantic accent, although I also don't. But I was taught that because she was a bit old school. And she had this video that was produced by the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and it was about how to do Shakespeare properly. And what it was clearly the British method is good and the American method is bad. And I will tell you, I did not think it was fair to the American method. Like, because I can poke at self-indulgent method actors who are not doing a good job and maybe need to just go to therapy and learn how to act. But I will also defend this kind of new style that was coming out of the United States. It was about trying to be more naturalistic. That was very exciting for people. And this video was very unfair. The video was saying, my goodness, the video was saying, it is wrong to overly emote when you do Shakespeare. By doing so, you obscure the genius of the bard and the words itself, and it detracts from the meaning of the play. Let us see two different versions of doing this. And so then they did this a couple of times where they do two different examples of the right way and the wrong way. And like the right way was always somebody doing something like, this would be like the right way. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and errors of outrageous fortune, or by opposing them, end them. Right, just it's very like this, right? I'm starting to dislike Shakespeare being called the bard, like there's only one. Oh yeah. Like it's a very sort of like like that, right? And then they're like, and here's the wrong way to do it. And then you get somebody who's clearly trying to do the I would say like a gross parody of the American style to be like, and you're like, okay, like their version of the bad way, they were not articulating anything, they were mumbling, you did not know what they were saying, you were like, what is happening here? And it was always this like, the good way is to basically say the words prettily, clearly, and with declamation, and the bad word was always like falling on the stage weeping, or just screaming or mumbling, and like you're like, what is happening? And I thought that was unfair. I thought that was an unfair take, by the way. I thought that was not what people are doing when they're doing that other style. I did not appreciate that. Yeah. Shakespeare as performed by Testicles. Oh, Much Ado About Nothing with Branagh and Emma Thompson really shows off their chemistry. It really, really does. Actually, I did quite enjoy the. I don't like him as a human being. And actually, I don't like him as a writer so much. What's his face? Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon did a Much Ado that I thought was actually quite good. Not necessarily because of him, but because the cast he had were having such a good time. Yes, Ty, it was unfair. It was very unfair. Oh, Go Role Playing Journal. Yes, it was a very unfair take on that style. And sure, are there people who mumble? Yes. Are there people who I feel like are maybe not actually acting to an audience? Yes. But that was an unfair characterization of that style. And also their style that was the right way got real boring really fast. I was like, okay, so we're all just going to stand here? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Come on. Anyway, but it was very clear to me that they had a lot of anxiety over too much emotion being put into the show when it came to Shakespeare. And I was like, wow. Yeah, he was pretty problematic. And he's a little bit too cute. Like, I was like, Dollhouse had some. He usually has really good casts though, but like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, there's some, Ty, there's some really good ones. There's some really good ones. Yeah. And actually, there was that whole spate of kind of teen Shakespeare comedies for a while, like oh my gosh, I'm just thinking about Othello with Branagh and Lawrence Fishburne. It wasn't a Branagh production, but he was in it as Iago. Very, very good. Very good. Ooh, Ty. Oh, there's so much good Shakespeare. So much good Shakespeare we get to talk about. And I'm very excited about this. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ty. Oh, Enver Gokai was amazing. And also Daikin Lachman. Both of those two were really, really amazing. I was less excited about some of his writing. That Othello was so good. So good. There's a whole slate of 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000s remakes of Shakespeare into the teen drama fashion. They don't use Shakespeare words, so probably not a great primer. Not a great primer, but it's one of those things I would watch after I've watched a couple others, because I think there's something really interesting about. Wow, he's gone. Well, here's what we got to do. We need to sit on a bench and wait a bit, because I think we have to wait until after 9 o'clock before we can go and hang out with our communists. And we can't sit there. And we should definitely hang out with our communists. So let's grab a bench and wait a little bit so that we can visit our communists, Also, we should save. Quick save. I feel like... Where's our bench? Because I feel like I remember that you're allowed to, like, sit around and wait, right? But the question was... Where do we do that? I thought if you sat on a bench... That's what I thought it was. That, like, bench sitting would be the way to go. Maybe... Did I... Oh, Al Pacino's Merchant of Venice? Yeah, that's a good one. There's so many good ones, actually. And what I will say about Shakespeare, which is really nice, is that he's in the public domain, so you can do stuff with him. I think the other thing I would say about Shakespeare, this is like a thing that I would say, because I think it's sort of important.
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint.
Nope. Yeah, that Merchant is really good. So one thing I would say about Shakespeare, and this is the thing that I want to say, because I think it's important to say it. Shakespeare... People say these things about Shakespeare, right? They say that he's genius and that he's universal, and that's why we still do him. We still do him for a number of reasons, part of which is that England was not particularly dominant when it came to music. So historically, so they had to get their cultural capital through plays, and that was one of the ways they did it. So it wasn't like it was a neutral situation. It was not. But I think what I want to say is that Shakespeare is not universal. He did not make a story that everybody understands, because quite often we don't understand Shakespeare. But that's okay, right? What he's done is that he's made things that are open enough that we can reinterpret them for our own times, which will also include, for example, sometimes giving readings of it that are not at all what Shakespeare would have given. And some people might be mad about it, but I'm not mad about it. It is just a thing that is true, right? And that's not disrespecting Shakespeare. It's that, and it happened it's always happened, right? That people are taking from Shakespeare the things that they need from Shakespeare and the things that they want from Shakespeare. And that is not in and of itself a bad thing. So I guess what I want to say about that is, for example, a lot of Shakespeare's work had some very specific political work that it was doing that does not make any sense for us because we do not live under Queen Elizabeth. You know what I mean? Like, we are no longer, we don't live in 17th century England. So some of the work that Shakespeare was doing is just not going to be relevant to us because, you know, it's not 16th century England. So, and that's okay. Also, there was like a kind of a take on Shakespeare. An artist might have made art with a particular idea in mind, but people reinterpreting it later on and drawing inspiration from that is not wrong in the slightest. It's not wrong. And also, not only is it not wrong, it's just how life works. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how life works. There's really nothing that's it, right? That's how it goes. And I think about this and like, look, I need to pass time. And I remember that there was a way to do that, but I can't remember now how I did it. There is a way to do this. And I have to remember, because I thought you could just like sit on a bench, but maybe you can't. You know what we're going to do? I think we're going to, because wait. I know there's a way to do it. What is it? As good as Shakespeare is for that.
Officers, have you come to admire my mural?
Yes. As good as Shakespeare is for that, my favorite stage show to be done in different settings is the Mikado. Oh, that's a good one too. I've seen it as a 30s hotel, a cruiser line, a trailer park. A new question popped in my head. Have you read and or listened to Dungeon Crawler Carl? I haven't, but now you should let me know about it because it seems exciting. Speaking of other interpretations, Kurosawa can't be left. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yes. Right, I should be able to sit on a bench, right? Yes, I think I think I have to find a good bench is what I think I have to do. I think that's what I need. So, and I think that there are ways in which, so if you think about Baz Luhrmann's R plus Juliet, we're going to find a bench, and then we're going to sit there. The only problem is that old guy sitting on that one bench, and I don't know if I can sit on the bench with him. So we might, right, and I'm getting a lack of benches that I can sit on right now, which I shake my fist at. And I think a really good example of one of the ways in which sometimes reinterpretations allow you to get to the heart of what the thing is doing a little bit easier would be, I wonder if I can sit inside the whirling in rags, would be violence. So one of the things that made R plus Juliet so brilliant, in my opinion, is that they used guns, not swords. Oh, you know what? A classic would be the Zeffirelli Romeo and Juliet with Leonard Whiting and Olivia Hussey. That's a classic. That is a classic. Also recommended. Recommended. We might have to go across to find a bench that we can sit on. We will find one. Because normally I would sit on this bench right here, but this guy's sitting on the bench, and he's having a moment. Oh, West Side Story is a good one too, actually. So, okay, so violence, right? Very often, especially when you're doing your Shakespeare in a kind of like it is the bard sort of a way, we look at the sword fights, right? And we think about Olympic fencing, and it looks like ballet, and it seems very pretty, and like, oh. But I think what is lost is that people running around with swords is scary. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, Romeo and Juliet starts off with, if you sleep, it's the next day. So we just need to find a place where we can sit. That's really all. We just need to find a bench where we can sit and pass the time a little bit, and I'm sure we will find it. It will be fine. So I know that time only passes if you sit on a bench or if you chat with people, and it is like 4:30, and I really need to get to be past 9 or 10, I think it is, so that I can... Ah, there's a bench right there. Ha ha ha! Bench. Bench.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
We'll wait an hour. Oh, nice.
You
It's
finally
so good.
stop picking your nose.
Hey, it's so good. Very unique take on lit RPG with so many stellar characters. I've started a re-listen to the whole series like a month after finishing. Oh, will you link it in the Discord so I can check it out? So look, here's the thing. Just think for a moment. Romeo and Juliet, I found gold. Romeo and Juliet starts off where we have two families, the Montagues and the Capulets, and young men who don't have jobs, right? Like they don't have anything else to do with their time, are wandering around the city attacking each other with weapons at any given time, right? They are attacking each other with weapons, and they are doing it in the town square, at the market stalls. They're causing chaos, and there are gangs of them running around being quite threatening and scary, so much so that the people of Verona complain to the prince, saying like, can you please do something? This is really terrible. We cannot have this anymore. We're freaking out, right? And the thing is that we often don't, because we don't think of swords as being like, oh, scary and violent. When you do Romeo and Juliet in a kind of a classical way with swords, especially if the sword fighting is particularly ballet-like, we miss a lot of the tension that's happening in the show. So R plus Juliet by Baz Luhrmann just had them with guns, right? And that then became, we could understand a bit more of the stakes, right? And you can do Romeo and Juliet with swords and have the stakes be there, but you have to have those fights. Like, so I think that the Zeffirelli version of Romeo and Juliet did a great job of having those sword fights be, like, visceral, partly because they didn't use fencing foils or even épées. They actually used rapiers, and there was a lot of grappling and rolling around and punching, and it was quite desperate. People got tired, so it started feeling, a bit more dangerous and on edge. And so there are a lot of things that sometimes we don't really understand. Depending on, we might miss the danger of it. Like, I also think about, people are like, oh, people will say, Romeo and Juliet, they're just dumb teenagers. They don't know what they were talking about. I was like, oh, I think you're missing a lot here, right? Like, I think you're missing quite a bit about the social pressures that they're under. And also, they were not teenagers at the time. They were not received as teenagers. They were received as adults. And they were expected to behave that way, and they did within their context. But also, more importantly, the stakes were pretty high for Juliet, right? Because if she had been kicked out by her father as a woman in the 1700s, in the 1600s, 17th century, life would not have been good for her, right? It would have been real bad. And so what she was doing was very bold and very dangerous. And she was a much stronger character than people tend to give her credit for in more modern adaptations. Do you like audiobooks? They add so much to the experience. I don't read a lot of audiobooks, and I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I only listen to podcasts when I'm riding my bike or doing dishes, because I don't drive anywhere, so I'm not in the car driving. And I need a bit more... I can get distracted with an audiobook or a podcast. I do like podcasts, but I can only listen to them when I'm washing dishes, when I'm like walking or bike riding, then I'll do it, right? But otherwise I don't tend to. If I had a commute, then I think I probably would do it more. Oh, hey, what is this?
Homosexual underground.
New thought.
Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality. Feels like it's about time to do that. You thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling from within your brain. But for your own sake, please say you didn't.
I didn't. My goodness. For heaven's sakes. Well, I've got a new thought. I think this means I've got to talk to Kim. And I want to talk to that guy in the whirling in rags. So we have got 2 more thoughts that are just kind of hanging out. 2 hours and 6 hours. While we're here, since we're killing some time a little bit, let's go talk to that guy who is clearly queer and is surprised and is amused the fact that we don't, you know. But here's the thing I'm thinking about, though. I hate talking to people without Kim there. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just talk to him without Kim there. It'll be fine. Very much like WorldCom. Stop obsessing about sexuality. Yes. I struggle a lot with sleep, so I try to listen to audiobooks and stuff in bed. Oh, that's interesting. For me, my brain is a little bit too active. If I'm listening to anything that's interesting, I will not go to sleep. That's actually a problem that I have. And it's the same thing. Like when I go to sleep, yeah, the man with the Sunday friend. Yes, him. I want to go and talk to him because I feel like now we can have that conversation. Because the thing is, if I'm going to go to sleep and I think about anything that has too much thought in it, I will just not go to sleep. I have to like not think about interesting things. And I just feel like a podcast or an audiobook, I would not fall asleep. You know, I would just keep thinking. I should probably wear better clothing than what I'm wearing right now. I should wear dramatic clothing. Things that are dramatic and full of savoir-faire, so that when I chat with him, there's some drama. It will be like some empathy right there, and maybe some drama and electrochemistry. Here's some more drama, and then maybe like something good. What's not Inland Empire? None of that. Maybe some composure might be nice. Oh no, savoir-faire is good. We'll keep those. I look like a mess, just for the record. Let's see. Logic, suggestion, esprit de corps, visual calculus, authority, conceptualization. Well, suggestion could be good. I feel like I'm sort of wearing stuff that might... I mean, what am I looking... What do I look like? I look ridiculous, is what I do. Let's wear this hat. Why? Something for the dungeon guy, Dungeon Carl. That does happen to me too, but it helps my brain tire out at least, so it eventually runs out of energy and blacks out. Step your art cop. This is why I do my art cop. What I tend to do is just think about boring things. same here. There's sometimes I need a different line of thinking to fall asleep, so I usually put on some RPG podcast with a sleep timer, so I know won't miss anything when I do fall asleep. What I tend to do, this is what I do. I have to tell a story in my head, but one that is like, I will usually think about like, okay, what would happen if I had superpowers in real life? But the thing about having superpowers in real life is that the story can't involve a lot of high like exciting superhero adventures. Usually it's about Michael's discontinued the boards used for the 4 pounds. Oh no! Ooh. What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
Oh my goodness. We're flirting right now. Oh my gosh. Probably. So it's got to be something like, okay, so I'm in a lecture and I'm teaching, but then I realize that there's an emergency going around somewhere else, but I can't just leave in the middle of the emergency. I can't leave in the middle of lecture because that would be pretty obvious. So then I might have to be like, okay, well, I have to go to the bathroom, but I never go to the bathroom in the middle of lecture. But I might have to wait. Like it's become just like thinking about the logistics of being a superhero while being a teacher. And that gets like kind of boring and then I'll fall asleep. But I can't have like actual adventures. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just go wherever life takes me.
Maybe you should figure it out, detective.
Oh, but what are you doing
Admiring
here?
the atmosphere.
I
What
live here.
about
My
you,
room is,
officer?
yeah, I live here. My room is right upstairs.
Convenient. But what are you doing here? Talking to me.
Oh, I met your Sunday friend.
You did? And how did you like him?
I didn't like him as much as I like you.
Ah, shoot. Why not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you.
What about me, gendarme?
Nothing. Well, tell me about the muscular type who came to investigate the
Oh,
crime.
yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
That makes sense. I also let you tell a story in my head just through my ears first. I get that. I'm imagining a trooper desperately trying to ignore the troop signal out of the Vault 2. It kind of gets like that, right? Like Link said, thank you. Been catching up on the gamblers. Oh, nice. Zanzibar, we're coming back in September. I'm very excited. Got ideas. Because every time I, like, one of the things that's, so when I was, the best, like my first best RPG, no, that's tricky. What, an RPG group that was very important to me in terms of how I do things and what I think about things was the group that I was in the Army. And there was like usually like 7 regulars. Sometimes we'd hit 9, but between 5 and 9 regulars. And out of those 5 and 9 regulars, about like 6 of us were GMs. And one of the things about being in the Army is that at any given time, somebody might have to go on temporary duty and be gone for like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. Just going to the field, whatever's happening. So we developed this thing where each one of us would run a campaign for about 10 to 15 weeks. And then we would rotate GMs to a different campaign. And then we would do that, right? So there were 3 core GMs, myself, Tony, and Mark. And I was running GURPS espionage long term. Tony was doing Vampire the Masquerade long term, and Mark was doing Star Wars, WG Star Wars long term. So I would run basically one season of the espionage, and then we'd swap over to Tony, who would do a season of Vampire. Then Mark would do a season of Star Wars, and then somebody else would jump in and do like either a short shot or some kind of like finished thing, and then we'd come back to me and we'd do season 2 of the game. And this was like in the 90s, early mid 90s. And this was really great. This was like, I was like, oh, this is perfect because people only had to commit to one season. If somebody had to go on temporary duty, they just would sit out that next cycle, right? So people didn't have as much pressure, and we had way better attendance, and we didn't really drop out. We almost never dropped out of episodes, very rarely, because people had different expectations. But more importantly, I had time in between seasons to prep for the campaign. So I would prep, and then like I'd have the time off, and then I would like go and like build props or do whatever I want to do. So I've been really appreciating having hiatuses. Basically, ever since then, I've sort of kept that model with me. Even if I'm not in a group that rotates GMs, I've kept ever since then, I've kept with a kind of like a season model where like, we'll do a season and then you can always sit out a season if you need to. Just like Rocket Fox sat out last season, is going to be coming back for this coming season. So that if you've got something going on, you can sit out and then there's no big pressure, and it just generally better attendance. And I get time to like be extra in the way that I want. So like it fights burnout and I get to do more stuff. And so I've just always kind of kept with that model ever since like 92, 3, 4, around then. Yeah, it's been 84 years. But I'm almost done, Granny. I'm almost done. Almost done. Oh my God, do you play? I do, Snug. I love D&D, Star Wars D&D, and I'm just recently looking to Vampire the Masquerade. Oh, Snug. So every Friday here on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern, I run an RPG. At the moment, we're doing a 6-episode short shot miniseries of a game developed by a friend of mine, and he's GMing it. At the moment, I'm not GMing. I almost always GM on the channel, but right now I'm playing. I'm very excited. And you should come and watch us. Yeah. Let's see. What did he look
Muscular,
like?
handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Besides muscular, did he have any other identifying traits?
Let me think. He had an accent.
He was a
He
mercenary.
sounded like one of those mercenaries.
Yeah.
He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
What was he
Just
saying?
reporting back whatever I was telling him.
Oh, thanks for the
Sure.
information.
Anything else on your mind?
No.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
No romance. It's fine. Well, we're not there yet, so we should go back to that bench and sit down until we can get past 9 o'clock, so that we can then go and see our communist friends. And then we should probably wear a lot of communist clothing while we do it. You know, dress the part. Yes. But, you know, it'll be fine. You live in Norway. Ooh, okay. Oh, I see. That is fair. I will tell you, Snug Fox, I feel like we have somebody else we know who lives in Norway. Norway? Doesn't Balrog live in Norway now? Or does Balrog live in... I feel like Balrog might live in Norway. I will say that I sometimes run games on the weekend, and then I run them early enough so that people in Europe can be there. And I try to, like, you know, because I also have a lot of European friends that I like to game with, and sometimes I want to game with them, which means I'm going to want to run the game a little bit earlier in the day so that, you know, so that we could all play. So, I will say, we probably are going to have something. I don't know when I'm going to do my next weekend
You sit
game.
on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
We're going to wait because we have to get to the nighttime.
Time passes.
Yeah, it does get put up on YouTube. That is true.
You ponder upon an endless winter that covers everything in ice and snow. What a struggle it would be.
It would be. I need to get to the nighttime, right? Because in terms of our missions, we don't have all of the armor pieces, so it's fine. That's not happened yet. We need to do that. I don't think we can do this yet. We can't do that. So yeah, so we just have to go and talk to our communist friends. So we just have to wait until it's nighttime. That's it. And we don't have Kim with us anyway. We could talk to the
Time passes.
Union guy again, but I don't want to. He scares me.
You ponder upon an endless winter that covers everything in ice and snow. What a struggle it would be.
Already subbed to your YouTube at the very least, but I might pop in a stream regardless. I'm a big night owl. My plans are unpredictable on the weekend, so fair enough. Also, we do like one-shots and things like that and short shots. What I try to do is... Wait. I saw that. I am on the internet. Hey, hold on. I am It looks like I'm back. I think I'm back. Let's see. Huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, okay, I'm back. Yeah, I am back now. Uh, yeah. So I don't know why that is. I'm still, what's the word? So the last time we streamed on Thursday, we had these problems, but we didn't have them on Friday or on Saturday. So I am still keeping an eye out on these things, and we did get a drop, and I don't know why or what caused it, but we definitely did have like a an issue. But we seem to be back. We seem to be back. What I've noticed is that the internet is like strong and good, but then it's like excellent, but then it just drops, you know? Uh yeah, I'm going to we're keeping our eyes on this, right? We're keeping our eyes on that because I think it's the landlady turning on her Pirate Bay account. Hey, I bought my own internet. I am currently using my very own internet because I did not want to have to deal with that. Also because the landlady's internet had like a download speed of 6 megabytes per second, which not good. You know what I'm saying? So I have gotten my own internet, and it's a cellular, uh, right? It's a 5G cellular internet. So we're gonna keep our eyes on this because I'm right now I've got a lot of things up so I can just see if things get weird. And I was like, right now, for example, right now it's looking weird. Seeing a little bit of okay, it feels like I'm back. All right, just watching. Okay, things seem okay. Mm-hmm. Just, keeping my eyes on it. Um, I've done the same. I got my internet because my landlord stuff was literally another building. Yeah. Yes. Right. You know exactly how it's snug. Does the weather affect it that much? It could also be how much load is on your cell tower. Could be, because right now I don't actually have a lot going on. Nothing. I don't have much connected to the cell to like. Yes. But I will note that my speeds are all still very, very good. It's just cut out, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. So far, it's only happened on Thursdays. So since I've gotten it. So we're going to keep our eye on that. And if everything is fine tomorrow and it's only Thursdays, we're going to see what that might be about. I don't know what it is. I see if I can like, what's the word? Investigate, I guess. Yeah, but I'm keeping my eyes over there on the internet. And keep me maybe it is regular maintenance. But I was like, why do you want to do it like during this time of day, you know? Oh, we have a new thought.
Cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lifes. The blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did. She'll be coming soon. That is all.
Sounds a little like denial. Oh, wow. I get +1 suggestion, +1 Inland Empire, and +1 rhetoric. Wow, that's really good. Oh, hey, that's a good thought. I feel like I might be able to have to talk to... I can't get rid of the homosexual underground until after I talk to Kim about it, clearly. And I think I want to keep cleaning out the rooms. That seems really good. Because I'm trying to get through as many thoughts as I can because I feel like they're exciting, and I want... you know, I've got some thoughts, like, the Kodomamadakwa. I would like to learn about that. Yeah, so, you know, these thoughts are difficult. Let's, I think we have to wait another hour before we can talk to our communist friends. I don't like it. I don't like that the internet dropped.
Time passes.
Could just be someone else in the area using cellular like a business, doing something like daily backups. Oh, that could be. That could be. I do want to do them all.
An endless winter that covers everything in ice and snow. What a struggle it would be.
When we talked about comments, is it after 9 or 10? Just in case, we'll do one more hour, and then we'll head over there. Just in case.
Time passes.
Okay.
You ponder upon an endless winter.
We're going to talk to our communists. That's like one of the last things we have to do before we can, I don't know, finish the game, I guess. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, you know how they always say it's endgame and then endgame is like another 20 hours? So, probably will not finish it today, but, you know. Still. Yeah, but I'm going to keep my eye on this. I've not been having problems. You know what I might do is... I wonder if I need to restart my router once a week. It's fine. Just spend the rest of the eternity on the bench thinking, certainly nothing could go wrong with that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Nothing bad would go wrong with that. Hey, y'all. Here's my thoughts for you. Here's my question. For those of you who have home internet, is it an ISP supplied router? Say more. It's so when I got the internet from T-Mobile, they sent me a router, and it is. That's it. My ISP provides a modem. I see. Okay, then it is internet service provider. Yes, it is an ISP supplied router. Yes. Yes. So. Oh, that's not it. We don't want that. So it wouldn't hurt? Yeah, no, they gave me an all-in-one box. So perhaps I should restart it once a week. Because I don't know if people restart their routers regularly. Okay, so here we are, but we can't talk to them until we put on communist clothing. All right, we're gonna go for communist clothing. That probably wouldn't hurt too much. I don't know much about mobile ISPs, but the ones you get from them tend to be moderately garbo. When I paid for like level 2, there are like 3 levels of internet cellular, and I paid for the one that was level 2, which was better speed and like a better router. Level 3 was like for the whole home, and I was like, this is like a 2-room apartment. I do not need the extender. So I feel like, yeah. Personally, I don't restart mine until I have an issue, and if an issue arises, regardless of it resolves right away, restart. Okay. I am going to think about this. Also, we want rhetoric, right? Perception, logic, empathy. You know, let's do some rhetoric. Let's do... What else do we need? We probably need, maybe some logic, or... maybe some composure? Sure. Maybe some... I don't know what I need when I'm talking to them, actually. Hmm. Suggestion? Conceptualization? Let's do some conceptualization. Seems like it could be good. Right. I don't yet know what we're going to do here with our clothing. Some composure seems good. Rhetoric seems good. Suggestion seems good. Some good old communist stuff seems good. Savoir-faire? Not bad. Drama, we can get it better. We can get it better. Let's wear that. These gloves, I think, are our best gloves because I've got 2 interfacing, and we've got some empathy. You know what? I feel like this seems like a pretty decent outfit to talk to our communists, right? I think so. I think so. We're gonna save, though. Let's see. I'm paying wait. Hold on. I just saw something weird. Let's see. Is everything good? Things look good over here. Let's see. I want to make sure everything is okay. Okay, everything seems fine? Okay. I personally don't restart mine. Okay, good, thank you. I don't personally restart mine until I have an issue, and if, okay. I'm paying way too much for a purported 2 GB speed. If anyone ever tells you routers are not designed to be on 24/7, then they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Regularly restarting each week is good, but also restarting every time you get a slight hiccup with the internet also seems fine to me, so yeah. It doesn't turn something off and turn on again if you're having problems, but ISP support likes to use that as an excuse. Seems fine on mine. Okay, good. Okay, good. So I'm not seeing any implications that things aren't working. It's just that my, what do you call it? My Twitch dashboard was not... Okay, it looks like it's going. Well, by good, what do you mean? Stream, yes. Government, well... Okay. All right, good. So then... Because I, you know, that thing where that, you know, where sometimes you'll get that message saying that the player on Twitch just stopped, and I was like, uh-oh. But okay, let's chat with them and get ourselves. I don't remember
You're
anything
back.
that we read. I'm ready. Let's talk about inframaterialism.
Yes, let's get right to it.
Okay.
His companion leans forward.
I don't know what's going to
ready
happen here, everybody,
jump in.
but this is like really important.
They're impressed that you dove right into the most advanced parts of the theory. Half an hour evaporates and the conversation is still wending its way toward new and unexpected places.
I appreciate this.
But if it's true that this individual possesses so much capital that light literally bends around him, then that must mean...
that capital produces its own form of plasm.
In Innocence of Capital, Puncher and Wortman argue that communists must possess as little capital as possible in order to keep their thinking undiluted by its influence.
You've accrued a modest account balance over the last few days, but probably not enough to warp your thinking too much.
Interesting. What's interesting about this game is that the longer you play it, the more you realize this is not set in our universe because it is supernatural.
Has it gotten cold in here? Your arms seem to be covered in goose flesh.
I always figured like with restarts, it's probably like just help get out the cruft.
Well, on that note, I think we can call it an evening.
Oh.
No, wait. Can this really be the end? You feel like you've just gotten to the real stuff.
Networks are kind of magical. Reestablishing connections can work around network hiccups. Yeah. Yeah, it's the first time. Yeah, this is my first playthrough. And what's interesting is that clearly there's something like we're not on our planet. Like these are like island continents floating in a sea of plasm. Like there is something, this is a very different universe. Also could be just enough downtime on your side for whatever congestion is causing the problem to clear out. So by the way, just so you know what I'm seeing all of my little monitoring says good, but I keep getting this, there's a network error. Please try again. Click here to reload your player. So on my, I'm getting like the player, it seems like me going from me to you is fine, but the Twitch site itself seems to be a little problematic at moments. I'm just noting it though. It seems like my ability to connect to Twitch, not server-wise, but like a web page-wise, seems to be a little bit funky. So we're gonna keep we're noting it. We're keeping note of it.
Yes. One of our better discussions lately, on the whole.
Yeah. Thank you, Snug. Just let me know if it goes sideways. Hang on. Is that it?
What do you mean, is that it? You've done the reading, we talked about it. What more do you expect from a reading group?
Nothing. I just thought there would be more...
More what?
I don't know, more... something.
It seems like there's something on your mind. Maybe a question you mean to ask?
The young man turns to his companion, then back to you.
He probably won't get a better chance. Honestly.
But it's getting late, so maybe pick the most important question.
Well, this is a red check. This is it. I think we do it. Hey, Jer. Hey, Trooper, I got this really cool travel planner in the mail today. I just thought, I'm so excited. Jer, how do you feel about it? Do you love it? Sometimes that happens if your browser's running out of resources, but yeah. Okay, so we have to do this check, and I'm really worried. Should we have... I need a minute to think about it. Do I need a minute to think about it? I need a minute to think about it.
Come on. We have things to do in the morning.
Okay. Do you think I'm sexy? All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. We're devoting all your available brain cells to coming up with a question about communism. Scratch that. To coming up with the question about communism. The alpha and omega of communism questions. And that question is...
Oh God, that's bad. Surely I can think of something better.
Maybe in another life, but not this one. Face it, this is the question that's been simmering inside you all along.
So sad.
No. This was supposed to take your mind off the other thing.
Wait, hang on. I thought I was really getting to the theory back there.
Sure. You spent some time getting lost in your theoretical labyrinths, but this has been the beast at the center this whole time.
No, but that's not a communist question. That's like a I need therapy question. Maybe I should keep this one to myself.
It's too late. You've already opened your mouth to speak.
Our woman bourgeois. So here's the thing about this, actually. I'm reading a book about this. Yeah, one of the things about restarting devices is that modern programming is strictly messy, lazy, and cleaning after themselves. And a restart does that cleaning the programs don't. Sort of like sipping helps you clear out your brain. Yeah. So here's the thing about Our Women Bourgeois. I'm reading a book right now called Aberrations in Black Towards a Queer of Color Critique. And it is... The author is clearly has got his Marxism on, but he also recognizes some of the ideological... You're reading about gender stereotypes? Who would have thought? I know. But about some of the ideological limitations of Marxism in that it tends to presume heteronormativity and sort of thinking about the ways in which, right, and the ways especially with like liberatory sort of functions have often been about reinforcing patriarchy. Sort of like, you know, men needing to get back, men being alienated from labor is about bourgeois, and it's about the capital, and it's about the city, and it's about feminization, right? And so there's a way in which a lot of revolutionary Marxism ends up becoming very patriarchal. And within that kind of framework, women are bourgeois because women stand in for capitalism and consumerism, but that's sexism. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Anyway, so I don't know how they're going to respond.
The young man gives you a slightly confused look, as though he's sure you asked something else and he simply misheard. No, he heard you crystal clear. Somehow, it sounded even worse.
It's real bad.
Out loud.
Real bad.
You only said what everyone else was thinking. Look around. Do you see any women here?
He wants to know if women are bourgeois, Stepan.
Yes, I heard him. Give me a moment.
This is bad. He takes a deep breath, then he turns to me.
What makes you ask that question above any other?
I'm going to say, I don't know. It's just what my brain told me to say.
That's because your brain is floating in ideology, gendarme. It's practically drowning in it. You ask that question because you're still under the influence of ideology. That's natural. You're like a fish that's only now discovering that her whole life has been dictated by the movements of sea currents. That's what ideology is. It's like there are these invisible forces everywhere, pushing and tugging you this way and that, and you don't even know they're there.
Yep. Is it even possible to imagine a world without ideology?
Of course it's possible. Just extremely difficult. You practically have to be a world historical individual to do it. Do you know the story of Dobrova and Abadanais?
I don't know what you're talking about. Who were they?
The so-called revolutionary lovers. The dual commissars of revolution in Insulinda.
Ooh, okay. I'm excited.
Yulia Dobrova came from Grad. Jean Abadanais was born in Revachol. She was brilliant, charismatic, a revolutionary comet. He was her partner and stabilizer, the planet who kept her in orbit.
Doing well, Max. We failed our red check and we asked a really dumb question.
What became of them, though? There seems to be a blank paragraph in the history books.
Ooh, but I will note that I was talking about, because that's the thing, right? There is a kind of a revolutionary mode that is pretty misogynistic, actually. And yeah.
It's from them we get the notion of dual leadership, the décomptage, Revachol's truly great contribution to revolutionary thought. I believe it even persists in some form in the RCM, even to this day.
What happened to Dobreva and Abadanais?
They died on their own terms, like real revolutionaries. There's a lot to say for that.
So you're saying women are only bourgeois because of ideology?
There's more to it than that. People still make their own choices. It's a matter of being aware of what's influencing them.
So what does this question say about me?
Yes, that's the question you should be asking yourself.
His companion nods, but offers no further solace.
I need to take some time to think about all of this.
The young man nods, but says nothing. He appears to be distracted by something.
By what?
He's wrestling with some question of his own.
Oh, can I help?
He's lost in his own thoughts. You wonder what silt you've stirred in the bottom of his soul. Of course, the matchboxes. You'd very nearly forgotten to ask about them. Now may be your last chance.
Oh, the matchboxes. You were trying to make the tower from Nilsson's journals.
So you really did read all the way to the end?
Obviously.
Yeah. Uli and I were trying to see whether there was enough plasm between the two of us to hold up a few matchboxes.
Saying it out loud makes him realize how foolish it sounds.
It was just a little informal experiment. No reason to take it too seriously.
We should try again, all of us.
The young man looks at you a moment, then at his companion.
What could it hurt? All right, let's give it another go.
What's going on? What's happening?
Before long, a modest tower begins to rise from the pile of matchboxes.
Huh?
Easy, Uli.
What's going to happen?
It's holding. It's holding.
Can we do this?
For the moment. The higher the tower goes, the quieter the room seems to become.
Oh my
Aside
gosh.
from the occasional comment, the three of you are completely absorbed by the task.
Oh my goodness. You're playing that Cthulhu game that uses Jenga.
Alright, you go next, Stepan.
The young man pushes back his shirt sleeves, revealing the pale flesh of his forearms.
You wandering DM? I'm going to say nothing. We're in the middle of a very intense communist moment.
Is it? He's holding. He's holding.
Yes, this is the closest we've ever gotten.
It's almost exactly as Nielsen's sketch imagined, a physical manifestation
Oh my God.
of the dialectical spiral of history.
All right, gendarme. Your turn.
Oh my gosh. Why?
You've got this. Theories aside, they're only matchboxes.
Hey, that thing you love. How goes the adventures of Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau? Well, we're at this moment. I do not think that word means what you think it means, in this world at least. Ghost of Mazov, give me strength here. I mean, we just have to... Okay. Doom. I'm gonna press the button, and I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't know what happens.
It's...
Ah! Ah!
My God. Is he really holding?
You really finished this game and got... Oh, that thing you love. Yeah. I haven't finished it yet, but we're so close. We're basically at endgame. You know when a game says to you, "Hey, if you have anything else you want to do, better do it now." We're right at that moment. Okay. We created this model of like the metaphysical communist Mazovian plasma spiral of history using matchboxes.
It is. It is.
Day 6. We're on day 6. But we've done basically everything, and it just says, hey, before you go and hang out, do this thing, you should go and do all of your side quests first, you know.
There, in the middle of the floor, the winding spire quivers with an improbable energy. For a long moment, no one says a word. You're all three transfixed.
Oh my goodness. Echo Maker. Well, I think I will also just say nothing.
And there it goes.
Oh. Wow. Oh. I will say, that was miraculous.
No. It was exactly what's supposed to happen. We should treat it that way.
Oh. Leveled up, by
We
the way.
should probably clean up.
Yeah, I guess. I think we just had like a moment. I should probably not have my flashlight on. Feels a little bit weird. Oh, now build it at full scale. That's what we should build it outside, full scale. So I wanted to do this, and my playthrough didn't get to. Oh, wow.
Yes, it's probably time for you to take your leave as well.
Okay, well, I guess I'm off.
Wait a minute. If you don't mind,
Yes?
we wanted to get your opinion on something. A few little changes we've been thinking about.
Oh, okay. What kind of changes?
Nothing too major, I think. We were talking potentially about relaxing some parts of our admissions process.
I'm feeling 1 or 2. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling 1 or 2. But I also feel like Isn't there like a... You know what? I feel like there was a way for me to go and there was a way for me to make it so that you could do a poll and options, main menu, options. I really feel like we should be in there. Are we in? Streamer mode in. Man. It's fine. It's fine. We'll do it like this. Y'all, I'm feeling 1 or 2. What do you think? 1 or 2? I'm just gonna ask you. Yeah, I know. I had it in there last time. I think they just had put it 2, 1. Oh man. Oh. I see how you all are. Okay. Oh. We got 2. Okay. Feels like we got 3 1s. 3. Oh. Oh. Y'all. All of y'all. Oh. Okay, now we're tied. 2 and 1 are... Wait, Zanzibar. Oh. My signature skill is... Through's a joke, kind of. My signature skill is... where is it? It's, Where was it? Which one was it? My signature skill was... Yeah, I think it was one of the Psyche ones, is what I think. Was it Inland Empire? Was it... Volition. Holding yourself together and keep... Thank you. It was Volition was my signature skill. I don't even know how all that impacts things. Ooh, let's see. I know of the game to know what the implications of 3 would be. Let's go with both 1 or 2. Both 1 and 2. I believe your signature skill speaks to you more. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just stuck between 1 and 2. I'll change my vote to 1 if that makes things easier. All right, we'll go with 1.
That's interesting. I thought people loved group interviews.
No.
I thought so too, but perhaps we overdid it. Just a little.
Yeah.
There was another thing. We were also debating putting up some posters around town.
Oh, you chose Inland Empire as yours? Yeah, I've got a pretty good Inland
Though
Empire.
some of us maintain that advertising is an unacceptably bourgeois tactic.
Some of us?
That's what makes it so beautiful. The irony is unbeatable. As a noted art cop, you definitely have an opinion on this.
Because I am an art cop, after all, and I thought I'd point that out. Oh, there's so many of these things are really good. I am an art cop. I am art cop. I would windmill slam Forehill. Oh. Yeah. Sounds like something Cindy could help with.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I guess no one could accuse Cindy of having a bourgeois aesthetic.
That is correct.
Plus, I've got the perfect place in mind. Put some more coffee on, Uli. We've got a long night ahead of us. We should probably get Cindy in here too.
See, that's good. Sharing is caring. Advertisement is not the same as giving out pamphlets or telling people about your club or group. Thank you, Snug Fox. Right, there's a difference between advertisement and raising awareness. Just like Edison Jones is a fashion cop.
And Gendarme.
Yes.
One last thing.
Yes.
I've been thinking about what you asked before. About women, you know?
Yeah.
Not that it's any of my business. But it sounds like this question is really tearing you up inside.
Right, but it's not actually about the bourgeois. It's about having a broken heart.
It is
Oh!
tearing you up. It's like there's a tiny, hateful beast shredding your very soul.
Sorry. I just got injured. I have a weak heart.
So, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Ouch. Yeah, just note, I don't have as much health as I have morale. Just...
The Insulindian miracle.
What is this? I have a new thought complete.
It's easy. You know the poem by heart because you were taught it at school. It is one of the Volta Dolmar mantras repeated on the voyage that lead to the discovery of the Insulindian Isola. And the words mean, nothing will be changed about the light. Colors like gray and brown, all printed on top of each other. I found a blank white spot. All the others looked up. What a beautiful day. What beautiful weather.
Thanks.
But all I heard was the printing machine. What strange words to celebrate a new world.
All of my white checks have been unlocked. I don't know if I needed it, but, So, I think, that thing you love says, I have a Magic the Gathering playmat that's got the thought cabinet on it. Oh! Oh, that's cool. That is cool, that thing you love. That is very cool. So I played this game with a recently broken heart, so it spoke to me especially. Oh my gosh. I just want to give him like some soup, you know? Also, oops, let's accept. Okay, so here's the thing, y'all. We have a bunch of new thoughts. I don't know if we need to keep the Insulindian miracle. I think we can probably ditch it and get a different thought. Probably. Let's see. What do we have? What is interesting for us that we might need to do? Because I really want... So here's what's what. Rigorous self-critique seems very mean. Yeah, no, this is like... Yeah, this is really... Rigorous self-critique seems... an embarrassment to the party. You're one piece of shit, a cop penitent, a flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Mazovian show trial, or ripping your flesh from your back with a cat of nine tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows? You might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. Well, that might not be bad. No amount of soup could heal here. Yeah. Yeah. Some soup, a couch lion for a few days, and open mind to talk to. He needs a hug. Rigorous self-critique could be interesting. Some kind of superstar is not it, I don't think. This is all about, like, yeah. Motorway South could be interesting. Yeah, could be interesting. Date of birth generator also could be interesting. The Fairweather T500, I don't care, but the Kodamama Dakwa could also be interesting. Precarious World is like too aggro. Bankruptcy Sequence, I don't think so. So there are a number of these thoughts that I think could be really interesting, but I don't know. Harry needs a hug and someone to cry hysterically. He really does. And like, he needs to sleep. He needs some self-care. So I feel like we could forget the Insulindian miracle and learn one of these other thoughts, have it going, because I like to have at least something going on. He needs Kim. He does. He really does. But Kim is currently, Prax and Simon, currently not here because I had him take the body away. Let's forget the Insulindian miracle, and then let's learn rigorous self-critique, maybe? Maybe? He does also very much need Kim, who keeps Henry grounded. Yeah. I do not want to escape your lurk powers. Are you kidding? So I'm feeling like the Kodamama Dakwa might help me discover the bug, which I think could be really good. So maybe we just do the Kodamama, but rigorous self-critique maybe. Yeah, okay, we're gonna forget this one. So we have a lot of skill points. We will confirm it, and we're gonna go and do some rigorous self-critique. because I think that that makes sense after the conversation we just had. We're going to internalize this. We're again bad on reality, but we probably need to think about I think we messed up real bad. Clearly we messed up real bad, and we need to work on that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like we probably need to make
The
amends.
gendarme returns. What do you need?
We're leaving. We're good. I think it's, Look, I know that, I think that our good old art cop needs to, I think he
Hello
did some
again,
bad things.
officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Nope. Leaving. I think he did a lot of, I think he was not a good husband. I'm going to assume that they were married. They might not have been, but let's say that they were. I think he was a very bad husband or partner of some sort. And I think he is full of guilt, but has not made amends. Do you know what I mean? And I think he does need to work on that in some way. So maybe this rigorous self-critique will be healthy for him. What aesthetic is this game? East European post-war punk? Yeah. So that thing you love, that feels like an Eastern European post-war... Yes. Eastern European post-war punk. But I would throw in... There is something... There's something a little... cosmic horror about it as well. So there's something like... kind of like a East European post-war cosmic horror punk, as I think how I would put it, because there is something very supernatural about the game is what I want to say. You know, anarcho-punk. I love this part of the game as well. Everyone is open to interpret Harry, who Harry was and what path they want him to take through the game. Yeah, it is and I kind of, oh, you know what? Existential might also work well. What is this? Hey, there's a thing there. What is this? What is this? It's a new thing. Huh. Why is there a... What is this? What is that? I see a circle here. What is this? This door is closed for today. Time to put the kids to sleep. Oh, I don't need to worry about it then. Excellent. Yeah, the thing about it is that existential... Yeah, there's something...
It's getting late, and it's snowing. Time to call it a day.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is something very, deeply existential about this game. And...
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression.
Oh. Do I want to try to stop the expression? Do I want to try to do that? But is the expression bad? There's a good reason why I put Disco Elysium and Outer Wilds as my two favorite games, both very existential and awakened something in me and healed something for me. I need to play the Outer Wilds. I haven't done that one yet. But I have to play that one. I've also heard that Kentucky Route Zero is quite good. Both of those are games that are on my lists. Do I stop the... Do I want to stop the expression? I should try both. Okay, I will try to stop it.
It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending.
Should have saved.
A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
That doesn't seem good. Yeah, that seems really sad and bad. Now I'm not even happy anymore. The Outer Worlds is a masterpiece and such an amazing experience that I can't say much about. Okay, well, I'm going to clearly need to find. Yeah, it's beautiful. Only stopper for most people I know is the reading, but no, reading is fine. Oh, thank you, 20. Thank you, 20. Oh,
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is, without
I see my
the
portrait.
expression. It's just hairy.
I'm not smiling anymore. I don't have my Guillaume Le Millon sort of vibe going on. It's a little sad. Well, we'll sleep.
The bed
Yes.
is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Yeah, let's rest. Oh,
The place feels almost like home now, quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside. You're incredibly tired. The darkness and warmth come fast. You're falling asleep.
so you mean the leering sleazy expression? You could see it as not sleazy. You could see it as disco. Similar to disco, it has sensitive spoilers. Oh, that's good. Okay, because I'm totally unspoiled for it. For the longest time, I thought that the Outer Worlds and the Outer Wilds were the same game, but they're not. So that's how unspoiled I am. I recently learned that Guillaume is basically the French version of William. Yes. Did you see the Death Road to Canada devs have released a trailer to their new game Sci-Fi one called Sci-Fi one? No, I did not see that. Ooh, somebody link it in the Discord. Dog just flipped out, but it's getting dark out. Neighbor got film of a bear on their property a few nights ago. Ooh, wow. Ooh. I'm gonna have to play that. I'm gonna have to go. Y'all are making me think about the Outer Wilds right now. Hope nothing bad happens during this sleeping moment.
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow. Your legs and your torso feel like lead weights sinking to the bottom of the sea. Until there's suddenly light.
But yes, remember, don't look anything up at all if you consider having a peek at it. It's a lovely journey. Oh, okay. That's Max. That's Harry's limbic system. Harry's got a lot of different voices in his head that talk to him, and sometimes they give him weird advice that I don't always agree with. Yeah. Now, Hinterland just needs to make the Outer Woods. I really want the last chapter of The Long Dark. Like, we've been waiting all this time for The Long Dark to finish. When is it going to finish? Anyone? I know they've been putting out a lot of material content, but it's not for the Max. I often flip out. The Outer Worlds 2 in November. Does anyone know when we're gonna finally finish Wintermute or The Long Dark? I'll sing along in Silent Communion.
Blackness, blackness, blackness. The ultimate disco. The ruins of your life behind you. Still smoldering. Ashes rise. But you're not looking.
You have to play the Lamplighter's Rig. So do I, except that it's not Mac compatible yet, which is annoying. Soon, because Long Dark 2 will take over their attention.
For now, a little while, you can.
Sleep, without words or images.
When the pictograms and the hieroglyphs of the world return, they seem silent somehow. The alarm rings quietly too. You're ready.
Open my eyes. I think I got a good night's sleep. Huh? You did, as a matter of fact. Hey, look, Hey, Harry, are you okay? Are you all right? Does he look all right to you? Okay, all right. Let's just look in the mirror one last time.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is, without the expression. It's just hairy.
Harry was not, in fact, all right. I've been working really hard to get him to be in a better space. Been working really hard. Hey, good morning. Hi, how are you, Kim? We're going to say hi to Kim. We're going to look at our stuff. We've got so many skill points that we've not spent. Just a side note. Harry's a troubled man as of late. He might not be all right for a bit, but I'm really trying hard to get him into a better spot. You know what I mean? Like, I am trying. We've got this rigorous self-critique going. Like, all the other things I actually kind of like. I don't want to get rid of a lot of them, because I do like them. But let's get better clothing before we get there. Let's see. I like my communist hat. That's fine. Electrochemistry cigarettes. Okay, jacket. I think we've got a pretty good jacket. I think that one's pretty good. Yeah, we're going to 9:30. I know, Trooper, looking at it, seems like you're taking a good... I know, I'm really trying. And let me tell you, it has been very difficult because he has got some... He's got a lot of pain. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of pain, and let's do some empathy and hand-eye coordination. And that pain is making it hard for him to do what's right for himself, you know? Yeah, I do worry about him. Are those my best shoes right now? I guess. I don't have a lot of shoes. Wait. Yeah, I feel like that's great. The shoes are what they are. What are my shoes doing? Empathy seems good. Savoir-faire. I feel like we might be okay with what we got. Any better glasses? That's encyclopedia, visual calculus, logic. All the glasses are like a... Oh, there we go. I wanted something that wouldn't... Okay, sure. Yeah. I feel like this is, I feel like we're good. I'm really glad they got Linval Brown to voice act the over 1 million words of dialogue in this. Oh my gosh. So good, right? Okay, I actually think that I look like a weirdo, but let's talk to Kim.
Yes?
Hey, I have big news, Kim. Tell Kim about you no longer obsess over your sexuality. I tell him.
Okay.
I've managed to stop obsessing about my sexuality.
Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. Matter of fact, we should get back to it right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just one thing, though.
What?
Are you part of the homosexual underground?
You didn't stop at all, did you? You are just obsessing about other people's sexuality now.
Well, maybe. Well, yeah, but...
But am I? I'll spare you another 20-hour mind project. Yes, I am. Now let's get back to work.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the truth.
But that's awesome.
Yes?
Nothing. Well, I guess we have to walk to that. We've got the one place left to walk to. Nope, leaving. So we gotta go to that place, and then I imagine that'll mean
the scruffy-haired little boy kicks
probably
the stone while the other.
We're heading out. This means, my friends, we're gonna set ourselves up for success next time. Yes, so he's like, yeah, that's great, cool. Can we just investigate? I was like, yes. Nobody lets me have any fun. Well, here we go, everybody. You know what I think can I say something? Well, you know what? I will say something once we get ourselves set up into a position where we will go. So this is us. This is like the last moment, right? This is it. Right here. Wait, I had no idea Kid was gay. Oh, you never internalized it.
Your entire body is paralyzed.
Sorry.
Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I was not...
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
I was not... Okay.
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
Okay.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways.
I'm not going to cover my ears because I don't think it will matter. I don't know what's happening, Max. Something is happening.
That's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones.
Okay, I might
Don't
die.
focus on the pain.
I didn't even
Focus on
save.
doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
No. We'll go with, are you gonna kill me too? That might make her, say that she didn't do it. Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
Could you stop?
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency. Blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations. It's the Ulan frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
I would like to not die.
You should probably check on Kim. That's what good partners do.
Look back at Kim.
Right behind you, officer.
Eyes closed, the lieutenant is doubled over. He's still alive and breathing.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
Sounds like she knew someone who used to man one of those stations. But she won't tell you about her. Boy, you're one empathetic police officer to have guessed even that right now.
Thank you.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
He gestures towards something with great effort. See, look, I was gonna just leave, but we just walked in here.
Precisely.
Sorry.
This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world.
It's bad.
At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
That thing says that makes more sense than it should.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking.
Okay.
And you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
How did you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
She nods towards her torture device.
And she's proud of it too. As she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
I would really like to stop
That's
being...
illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
She studies her death ray and the law officials trapped in it. Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Great, okay. Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
This is such a good game. I wanted to say something about diversity, but I'm being assaulted by the Pale. Yeah, we need like I need a jammer. Oh. This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
Yeah, could you turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Oh. Thank you, Five. If you're looking for a deal on mattresses.
Deal on mattress.
Speed 3 at Ember.
Oh, seems bad. Everybody. Lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
Regards you and Kim with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She steps reluctantly out of the shadows. The pain lessens.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Oh. I don't think I should try to destroy the machine. I think that is, like, going to be... Look, I cannot stop the stream until I can get out of the conversation, right? And I don't think that I should just try to destroy the machine. It feels like that would be antagonistic. How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Putting bullets into the floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
She didn't rat you out, by the way. Isabel, the washerwoman?
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
You're preparing for the worst?
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked the barrel open and took the bullet out. Not today.
Did you shoot Lely?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
God forbid you're antagonistic to the woman turning the pale on you. I'm just saying that right now, she could probably explode our minds. You know what I mean? Like, I think you gotta pace it right. You're right. Classy was the first to share her suspicions.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? Your first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, man. They told us you were on the coast.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
We might be able to...
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
Oh, okay. 2. Do it by asking questions, and I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Look, we cannot quit until we can get out of this conversation. So, okay, do you have an alibi for when Lily was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
Oh gosh, how long was it? 15 minutes, right? That thing, I think I've got, like, longer. They did say you left to take a really long leak. 15 minutes?
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder.
I do understand mind over bladder.
That wouldn't have been enough time.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Look, there's a secret way from the first floor of the whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
She frowned, studying my face.
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
Yep. The pain stops him from finishing the sentence.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
Okay, right, well, but I know he wasn't okay, we'll see if we can... Would you say that Lily's a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Was there anything more personal that you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me, and definitely not a reason to off someone.
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
Also, we've got Critical Role starting in like 30 minutes, but we just got to get you a conversation.
She didn't hate it, okay?
All right. Other questions?
I'm listening.
You have a gun.
And?
I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
The breech loader?
No.
Okay.
This is such a wipeout.
Right, okay. There's other evidence I want to ask you about?
Yeah, evidence.
You liked Classy a lot?
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
Is peeping one of your hobbies?
I'm not following your clever insinuations, Detective.
It's just the hole in Classia's wall is pretty suspicious.
Look, I'm not aware of any hole in Claudia's wall.
Okay.
And if I had been, I would have told her to get it sealed. That's what friends do.
So you haven't been watching Claudia through a hole in the wall?
Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to
being a
look
girl
at
like
her
her is
when she
good.
walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
There are other things I ask
Go
about.
ahead. It's your body.
Okay.
Too, he thinks. But keep
Okay.
on. This must be done.
Do you like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies.
Ah.
That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Got it. Okay. Right, so you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot
Okay.
had to have come from afar.
Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
We're not going to ask for the drugs. That's needlessly antagonistic.
More questions before doing anything.
Okay. What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
No, I'm serious.
It's okay. We just want to...
He struggles to finish the sentence.
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasha comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Klasha said you... Wait, did she also seem high to you?
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
Klasha said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit.
The big question is, will their new campaign be in Daggerheart or in D&D?
She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
So
It
interesting.
looked like he'd been hanged.
Klasha found it weird you came up with a plan so quickly.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Well, she was a spy.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Showerhead, resourceful.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she killed Lily herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried the lynching might lead to...
The lieutenant forced himself to finish the sentence.
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Yep.
Eh, fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
Who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Clausia's room, lying on his side.
From the Beacon Insider perspective, they have not announced anything concrete. They seem to be leaning hard on the live shows. It's not that much like with touring bands, they make most of their profit from live shows. Yeah, absolutely.
He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
You didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
Thanks.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Ooh.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself.
I'm at the edge of death. As for what Daggerheart is like, my impression from everything they've said and I've seen is that Daggerheart is the game they wish they'd been playing all this time.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise.
Oh no.
It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Oh man. Yeah, I do have to survive. Okay, tell me, what's my name? If you know that about me, you must know my name.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to la puta madre.
This is bad.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time.
Am I on the tape?
All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
Puta Madre. I've heard of Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to know all of this, but I lost my memory recently.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You know what I did. I fucked him over. And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
Oh, this is bad.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat.
I might die.
Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Okay, when I came to town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who was in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying.
What is happening?
That sound about right?
No idea who these people are. Literally. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. We could either take a room here in the Whirling or go home for today.
What is even happening?
Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
I think I know them. They're in Martinez.
Friction, lock, set.
Ah!
Don't leave me here. Please delete.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
Do you know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
Like, just a place some comrades stopped through, a revolutionary bunker.
I don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Her voice trails off into white noise in your head. It feels like an aneurysm is approaching. Oh no, I might be dead now.
You feel something in your chest.
I think I'm dying.
Natural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw.
Help, someone!
Yeah. Screaming isn't happening on account of extreme shortness of breath. You're just making it worse.
I think I'm gonna die.
God, it's painful.
I don't even know when I last saved. Try to remain conscious.
All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even see her face. Like you always thought you would. You only see pain and fear.
And
cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met, Captain Ptolemy Price, the deceased superior officer commented. That ain't easy on the ticker. He loved his liquor, sure, said Detective Chester McLean, friend and colleague. But I think before he ever had a heart attack, his heart was broken. According to an official statement given by the RCM, the officer was on the brink of solving a murder case.
Oh. I died. Hold on. I have a command for this. More death. That's not how you spell death. Oh. Let's find out where our last load point was. The quick save. I think our quick save was a while back, everybody. That's okay, I can get us there. Oh, man. Oh. Golly. So we're dead. We died. I think we'll get ourselves back to that conversation, and we'll have to talk. Here's the thing. If I were really beefy, if I were like really beefy, full of beefiness, then I could have more health, and then I could have survived that conversation longer, but didn't. And also, the thing is, I do need to talk to her some to get information. Oh, yeah. It was, yeah. We'll fix, it'll be fine. Oh, golly. So I really feel like we're like here at the end point of everything. I really should have saved. What was wrong with me? I thought there would have been like an auto save in there, but there wasn't. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. Hey everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. We've got to go because in 15 minutes Critical Role will start. So let me say thank you for hanging out with me. Here's where you can find me next. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern will be part 2 of Through the Valley of the Dead, a brand new RPG designed by Wandering DM, who is here in our chat. And it's part 2, and we're going to be dealing with some dino chickens, otherwise known as velociraptors. I'm excited. Just come and see us then. Thank you, Snug. And then, on Saturday at noon Eastern, which would be like, 5 p.m. British Standard Time, 6 p.m. over there in the Europe, Central European Time, I'll be playing Hitman on this channel. And that is what I'm doing this week. But next week, on the 16th, at 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe. I've got to double check. It might be 8, I think. I will be over on PB Plays Inside's channel where we'll be doing a 2-player RPG called Ribbon Drive that is all about playlists, musical playlists. So there'll be a lot of music and excitement, and you should come see us in all those places. And then back here next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for more of the Disco Elysium. And yeah, my goodness. So just don't ask if we're bourgeois this time. I should not ask. I can't remember if we actually had the conversation or not. How bad was it? How bad was I? That's the question. Anyhow, we'll find out. We'll find out. I can't remember if I didn't do any of that or not. Anyhow, I suspect maybe we didn't do any of it. Look, you can find me at Trooper SJP here on Twitch, also on YouTube. Give a like or subscribe to my channel if you would. You can also find me at Blue Sky at Trooper SJP, Academic Foxhole for Patreon, which all Patreon funds go to help pay for my casts and commissions, art commissions and so forth. And then also Trooper SJP at Fourth Wall, which is the merch store. We've got really cool merch, and we've got a Discord. And in 10 minutes, I'll be watching Critical Role, and we watch Critical Role together, and then we chat in our chat and Discord. So if you don't want to be in chat with like 10,000 people, you can hang out with us. And so thank you. And I'm going to keep watching my modem, and I will catch all of you all on the flip side. And thank you so much for being here. And until then, everyone, ciao.